I wanted to know, where were your friction points? Where did you feel challenged? Where did you even want to go in the room? Was it making you happy? And we designed zones around your actual workflow. So we created zones for art and zones for possibly some more focused work, and systems that you can maintain, not just systems that look good, but systems that work for your brain. And my goal is to make your daily life easier. And it's not a one and done thing. It's something that we look at together. Sometimes I say to my clients, it's a series of experiments. We'll try something. If it doesn't work, we iterate and move on and try something different.
Hello, everyone. This month, in honor of International Women's Day, I'm dedicating 2 episodes to women who inspire me. Women who are building, leading, and supporting others in so many powerful ways. Women's Day should be celebrated every day. That is my opinion. But this month, I want to intentionally highlight voices that are quietly transforming lives and our lives in our community. So before I introduce today's guest, I want to say thank you. And the encouragement that you have provided in the past few episodes, the episode 1 and 2, have meant so much to me. You've given me good feedback. You have encouraged me, and I'm incorporating all of that in the future episodes. So I would like to really thank you from the bottom of my heart. This journey that we are going through is a journey which is really transforming, and it could not have happened without you. So let's get started. My first guest in this series is someone who has transformed how I think about structures, success, and space. Effy Terry. Effy Terry is a certified professional organizer and systems strategist based in Durham region, serving in GTA, but also she specializes in helping professionals, families, and individuals, including those with ADHD. She creates practical, sustainable systems that reduce overwhelm and support real life and perfection. She's not with perfection, I would want to say. She really helps people understand how you can organize yourself and work together to bring more stress-free environment in your life. So her work is rooted in collaborative coaching principles. Effy doesn't impose structure. What she does is she helps you understand how you can make your life more productive. And I have been her guinea pig. So what she has helped me is, I asked her to help me organize my office. And, for me, I always thought that my chaos is something that I should be proud of. And it meant to me that I am productive, I'm driven. But Effy pointed out something really amazing that has transformed for me. So what I learned is the fact that it is not about perfection. Organization, for me specifically, was a stress reducer. It saved me time. My day went smoother, and the frustration of constantly looking for things, she helped me with that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Effy in. As you know, she has organized my office, but what people don't see what it actually means. So let me break it down to you. I'm going to ask Effy if she can help me understand what she was seeing that I wasn't. Here you go, Effy.
Hi, Maleeha. Thank you for having me for the lovely introduction. So when I came into your space, I didn't start by moving things. We had a conversation, and I wanted to know how you use the space, what you do in the space, how you move around in the space. Do you like the space? Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy working in the space? For example, your desk, was it facing a window? Because all those things matter when we're in a work designated space. You also did your art in that space, so it had to be a multi-use space for you. And I wanted to know, where were your friction points? Where did you feel challenged? Where did you even want to go in the room? Was it making you happy? And we designed zones around your actual workflow. So we created zones for art and zones for possibly some more focused work. And systems that you can maintain, not just systems that look good, but systems that work for your brain. And my goal is to make your daily life easier. And it's not a one and done thing. It's something that we look at together. Sometimes I say to my clients, it's a series of experiments. We'll try something. If it doesn't work, we iterate and move on and try something different.
That's amazing. And that's what it is. She asked me how I wanted my desk and where I wanted it. And she asked me what I use this space for. And that was the key and the pillar for dissecting it all. So, Effy, I've been thinking about this lately, and especially in the context of International Women's Day. The word resilience come to my mind, and I know I'm shifting the conversation from organizing to resilience, but there is something that we're going to patch it through. You work with women who are overwhelmed, someone like me, juggling careers, family expectations. What does resilience looks like to you when you're organizing people like me?
Well, you hit the nail on the head when you said I work with high capacity women, and high capacity women that want to get a lot done. And resilience is its structure during times of uncertainty. So it's not pushing through and burning yourself out. It's more about reducing friction, right? It's knowing where things are, fewer daily stress spikes when we know where things are. It's like getting ready in the morning. It's like, where's my purse? Where's my phone? Where's my kid's paperwork that I need? So it's being able to know where things are, having like a daily reset at the end of the night, usually the night before, so that the morning is a bit smoother, and small systems that hold you up when energy drops. So it's the systems that you put in place so that your brain, your working memory isn't taxed. And it's designing a space to support your real life, not necessarily your ideal life, but what really happens.
That's very interesting. So something stands out that what you had said. You have mentioned that organizing can be a wonderful thing for someone like me. Although I was proud of my chaos, but I was vulnerable inviting Effy in. I felt a little exposed, but I knew she was my friend, but she made me very, very comfortable. And we talked about how we can figure this out, build the pillars around organizing. I was not vulnerable for the judgment of it, but some people can feel that way. So I know that you have dealt with many, many clients and people who you've worked with. How do you approach clients in a way that makes them feel supported rather than judged?
Well, I do work with a lot of women, and a lot of women come to me, and they're suspicious whether they might have ADHD or not. And so what I would say to people, and a lot of my training is in ADHD, whether you have ADHD or not, a lot of my organizing work and education and principles help whether you have it or not. So it's simplifying things. It's making things, reducing the steps to do something, and seeing it in relating to my own examples. For example, I came from the corporate world and I started another business and I felt overwhelmed. We all go through periods of life transitions where we might feel overwhelmed. So it's about designing for momentum, not, like we said, not perfection, right?
Yes,
It's progress over
Yeah.
perfection. And helping people understand that everybody's brain is different, although there may be some similarities, and understanding that what works for you might not work for someone else, but that there are ways to make it work for you that won't add stress to your life, right? And you said, I want to get back to judgmental. It's very collaborative what I do. So
Yeah.
it's not. I might give an example of my own life or a client, and I want to normalize that what that client might be going through is very unique to them, but it's also very normal and very it's similar to other clients that I've seen. So to normalize what's happening.
Absolutely. And that's what it is, right? Like, you made me feel very comfortable with my clutter, my paper, my art stuff, my other things that I collect in my office. So I understand that, the thought that you have said about the fact that organizing through people's lives, organizing through the segments of their life, I know that you have discussed this with me about life and transitions of life, right? So whether it's a career shift, a move, or unfortunate loss, or just a season in someone's life. What does it look like in your work, and how does organization support someone who's going through life's transitions?
So it's rarely about the stuff, right? As we all know, during different life transitions, such as divorce, moving, baby, retirement, all of these things, we have to look under the surface, right? Because these things are about identity, and it's about changing identity. And you're still yourself, but you're kind of putting on a new jacket, for example. And so we might go a little bit slower, separating decisions, because you're not only moving, making a decision on, do I want to keep that book, but that book might define who you were. And it might be something, it was a book that might have changed your perspective or changed your life. And it's not for me to judge that. It's for you to decide. And people think, oh, I'm just going to organize my room. It's not necessarily just organizing physical items, but you're actually looking deeper into who you are, who you were, who you want to be, even aspirationally.
And that's such a beautiful word when you say support. Support comes in many ways. I think what you have talked about is acknowledging the vulnerabilities, help them support without any judgment. And that is such a beautiful thing that you have brought forward. And I'm very curious about one thing. Life can be messy. Life can be so many pieces, and it's about going through the uncertainties. And I know that I talk about a lot about judgment, vulnerabilities, and uncertainties of life in my book as well. And that's why I believe I connect with Effy in such a beautiful way, because she really dissects it through and gives you a simple answer for a lot of things. So tell me one thing, and I'm going to repeat this question because I think you will bring something out over here. What you were seeing in my office were possibilities, right? What was I not seeing?
I guess in the sense I was seeing possibilities. I'm not sure if they're my possibilities. I wanted you to see what was in the room, because it's not always right. It's not it's not about me.
You were showing me stuff, right? You were showing me options, and I loved that.
Correct, because I can't dictate to you what is to be in your office. That's your space. And so I can, with your permission, I offered you some different perspectives. But typically I want the client to come to that realization themselves, because if you're more invested in the final outcome of what your space, what your life is like, that's the whole partnering part of what I do, is that I partner with you because you're the expert in your life. It's very collaborative, but it has to come from you first.
And I love that. That's what I wanted you to say, because what you had said, that you are going to show the options, but the ultimate decision is mine or your clients or the people you work with. And that is the beautiful thing, right? Sometimes people really get struggling with decision making, but when you show them the right options, they could pick and choose within those limitations, or I'd say beyond their limitations, right? Because I live in or thrive in chaos, or I used to think that, but you made me think about the unlimited possibilities of how I can organize my office, keep it nice and tight, with less things, but more ways of picking and choosing what I want to do. So,
and Maleeha, I love when people push back. I love when clients push, because that. You know what? You see, when a client pushes back, and it's not for me, like you will have the solution. And if I suggest something and you push back, that tells me that that's not, you're bumping away. So that's really important for you as well. And there's no ego in it for me, because at the end of the day, you have to live in that space. I go home to my space and you stay in your space. And I want that to be your space, not what Effy thought that space should be.
Well, you really impacted my one of thinking things. So I really do appreciate it. I do have a final question, and I know we unpacked a lot today, but this final question is very important. And I think you will appreciate it. What is one small step that someone listening today can take? Something simple to feel more steady, to feel more invited in their own space and in their day.
So you don't organize an entire room or say, I'm going to take the weekend and do my whole house. Think about one friction point in your home that is, it could be where your purse is, where your keys are, your morning launch zone, and fix that one friction point, because that small win will give you confidence. And that momentum is what will keep you going forward. And it's actually momentum that lowers stress rather than having it all perfect and having it all done. Momentum. Just create momentum.
Okay, Effy, I'm going to say something. I lied to you. That was not my final question.
I knew it.
You knew me, right?
I know you.
I want to talk about family. I want to talk about how I have 4 kids. Do I have 4 kids? No, I do not have 4 kids. I have 3 kids and a husband. So it looks like 4 kids. So I just want to know, families like myself.
Yes.
I did not see that coming. Seriously. I have 3 kids and a husband.
So something we don't know.
This is what happens. But families like myself who are high functioning, a university child, a teenager.
A young adult, university young adult.
Exactly.
Yes.
A teenager and someone who is under grade 10. How does it work for them with such a high function families? And it could be more than 3 kids, of course,
yes,
plus a husband or a significant other or anything at all. How do you bring their challenges in and help them organize?
So this is a good question, because I live with my adult daughter. She's going to school. She's working, going to school. We can only organize ourselves, and we can only set a good example. I am guilty of, helping to reset my daughter's room. And she tells me, Mom, do not go in my room. And you know what? That's probably the best thing I can do for her, is to let her manage her own things. And we can set examples. We can help only if they ask us to. But I think really setting an example and organizing yourself, you can't really organize somebody else. You can, if it's a young child, you can teach them systems and show them how you do it. But it's really hard to impose. Think if I came into your space, Maleeha, and I said, no, things have to be this way because I said so. Think about how that would make you feel. And that's how, amplify that, because, with our kids.
My mom would do that.
Right? and I grew up with a mom that would just do everything. And I had to learn myself, because when I went to live on my own, I was suddenly thrust into a situation where, oh my goodness, wow, like I had to learn everything again. So what a gift to give our children, that autonomy to learn to do it themselves with some guidance right at the beginning.
So is it safe to say that show by example kind of a thing?
Correct. Yes.
All right. That's awesome.
Yes.
Because that's what it is. I'm blessed in such a way that my kids have that sense, whereas I didn't, and I'm really happy that I didn't transfer that into my children, my chaos. But
Maleeha, it's more than just the physical items too. I wanted to mention it's also all of the activities we put upon ourselves as families, lessons and tutoring, and you may have your own hobbies and activities that you do. So it's a good thing not just to look at the physical space, but also to look at what's weighing on the family. Are there a lot of obligations that maybe we can take some of that off the plate to make a more harmonious home?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And that's what it is. These days you have hockey practice, you have other things, you have so many things going on, and we're putting our kids, I don't know, I wouldn't say stress, but some families challenge their children, right? In a way where they want more, or maybe you're just probably in some way encouraging them to pursue their own, and it can be a busy space. So that makes sense that we can only show by example.
Correct,
right?
correct.
That's
and everyone
wonderful.
gets a voice. No matter, mom and dad make the decision at the end of the day, but everybody should have a voice so that, family meetings are good.
That is true.
Yeah.
So as you know, I dedicated the next this episode and the next episode to March, which is International Women's Day. I'm just celebrating the entire month. What would you what would you say to all female listeners of how can they organize their life? But not only organize their life, but what would be the one key message? You have such an extensive bio and such an extensive, beautiful life that you've created for yourself, and so beautifully, of course. What would be your message for them?
for Women's Day?
For all the female listeners or anybody, but yes, dedicating it to the Women's Day. Yes.
Right. So a lot of women that I work with are, as we said, high capacity women, and they want to have it all done. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I want you to know that, I mean, I came from a 27-year corporate career into having my own business. And some days that's like, what have I done? And some days it's like the best thing in the world. So it's okay to try different things. It's okay to I hate the word pivot, but it's okay to pivot sometimes. It's not a failure to have tried something and realize it's not for you. And sometimes, when I've connected the dots, I've done a lot of things in my life. Even while I was in the corporate world, I had my real estate license. I did, and all of the things. How I look at it now, I'm 58. When I connect the dots, it's like all these things are skills I call them skills in my bucket. And all the things I've done lead me to where I am today. And no education and no training and no experience has gone to waste, because I take all of that together and it's who I am today. So if you're in a job, if you're in a career, if you're in a relationship and you feel you need a change, to have the confidence and the faith in yourself to know that change is always possible, and there's there are options out there. So not to feel stuck.
Yeah, you know what? I love how you said our buckets and the different buckets we have, and we keep on putting things in it and emptying it, and that's what it is. We are like buckets, right? We are high functioning. I don't think that, I'm not being sexist here, but a lot of men out there may not be able to juggle what we juggle in a day, and that's what it is. And if I start writing what I do in a day, I get myself overwhelmed as well, and that's what it is, right? Like, I truly believe that we are those vessels that can take in a lot.
Well, I think women tend to ask for support a little bit easier, and we tend to surround ourselves, like you and me, around other women who lift us up, but who support us also, and we can feel soft enough and vulnerable enough to actually ask for help. And I've personally myself, I mean, I have all kinds of support systems around me. Just because I'm an organizer and I look like I have it all together doesn't mean that I don't need support sometimes as well. And that comes in all kinds of in different it shows up in different ways.
Absolutely. And I love that. And I really thank you for breaking it apart as to how we can support each other, practice these safe spaces, and make sure that our organized way is reducing stress, bringing more harmony within our structures, our families, or how we live. And I love that. I thank you, Effy. I learned so much today. I really appreciate it. To all the women out there, the message is that this is a safe space, and I invite you to have a listen, leave a comment, share your feedback. Thank you so much.